Hello, party people. Welcome back to Not Your Average Club, a safe place where we come, we talk all things mental health, spirituality, and quite a bit of tarot. You know what they don't talk about enough in the spiritual journey is how goddamn lonely that journey from the separation phase to the union phase actually is. And I'm not just talking about like the twin flame journey. That's not what I'm talking about. The twin flame journey is just a 3D romantic personification of what's happening with everyone on the spiritual path of finding a true divine relationship with Creator God and with self, because that's the whole point, is realizing that you're not separate from God, that you and God are one. You're united. But as I've been on this journey, and I've been on this journey for a very fucking long time, 31 years old, you start to realize that you come across a lot of spiritual people, a lot of religious folk, a lot of people whom claim to have a relationship with God, that couldn't be further from the truth. And you start to realize just how rare of a gift it is to actually come across other people who are truly on the divine path and truly are wanting to come back to themselves and come back to union with God, the Creator, the divine. And I can't speak for everyone on this path. But I can speak for myself and what that looks like. And I have talked to some other people that I truly believe to be spiritual people, that I truly believe to be on the divine path to enlightenment. And they have a very, very similar story. So this is mine, and this isn't to make you feel bad for me in any way or to gain pity or anything like that. This is just hopefully to let other people on this path know that you're not alone. My journey started when I was very young. I'm neurodivergent, so I've always been the black sheep. I've always been kind of like the outcast in social situations. Socializing has always been kind of awkward, kind of different. My brain just kind of works differently, so my style of communication and my style of play was very different from other kids. I also was a product of teenage parents. So my mom and my dad weren't together. My dad was never really a super active part of my life. He's an Aquarius. And my mom, though she was there, was more of a type A sort of mother. I love her to death, but I never felt understood by my mom or truly safe to be my true authentic self with my mom. Even at home, I never felt at home. I always had to mask. I always had to keep a certain persona or a certain facade on in order to gain any sort of acceptance, understanding, or empathy from my mother. So that was the foundation of my social, emotional constructs of human interaction. And then when you get older and you start to go to school, it was a lot of the same things. I started to learn that in order to gain people's approval and love and so on and so forth, that I had to wear a mask. I had to be a certain person, right? And that mask would shift and change between social groups and who I was with. And occasionally I would try to let the masks fall, and I'd try to show people my true authentic self and my authentic nature, and that was never well received. So then you go to church, right? And I've been to many Christian churches in my life, many. And, you know, the church will preach about divine love and unconditional love and come as you are and God loves you and blah, 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 whilst their actions speak the exact opposite. They speak come as you are, you know, we love you, we accept you. Anyone can be forgiven and anyone, blah, 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 blah. But then when you come as you are, or when you don't live up to their expectations of what a Christian should be, or, you know, so on and so forth, you're gossiped about, or you're ostracized, or, you know, you're shoved aside. So I found myself after many, many, many years of trying desperately to fit into the mold other people deemed worthy of love, and furthermore being worthy of like God's love. I felt myself slipping further and further and further away from my authentic self. And since being on the spiritual journey, I've learned in order to get close to God, you have to get close to yourself. So in seeking these people's validation and seeking their approval and people pleasing and fawning, I was actually doing myself a disservice. I was growing further and further and further away from God, from the universe, from self. And so I left the church and I started my spiritual journey. And then I started to seek out other people who I could hopefully relate to, and who were truth seekers, and who were pushing themselves outside of their comfort zones, and who were traveling and studying other cultures, who were worldly and who were open-minded, and people who believed in learning from others and from expanding their minds and so on and so forth. And I found a online community of people, a very large online community. And at first I was like, wow, this is what I've been looking for, you know, come as you are, you know, that whole Aquarian-like mindset of, you know, like world changers, shifters coming back to themselves, like, you know, it seemed wonderful. It seemed like I was surrounded by people who are passionate about seeking truth, seeking enlightenment. And then after a short period of time, once I truly felt comfortable and I started unmasking and I started to speak on my beliefs and my passions and what I wanted to do and my goals for the future, even those people began to gossip and began to once again paint me as weird, wrong, immoral, unsuccessful, strange, you know? So once again, I found myself leaving a group feeling like the black sheep and trying to find people who understood. So around the same time that I joined that group, I started my YouTube channel. And at that point, I was at a stage in my life where I was leaving the church and I had just found that online community. So like my philosophies of life and the way I was viewing the universe and God and my relationship with the universe and God was shifting, but I still wasn't to the place that I am now. But I started my my YouTube with the intention that if I couldn't find it, I would build it, and not upon this facade of come as you are, if who you are fits in my box, you know? This is a tarot channel, but only if you're a New Age spiritualist who is pagan and who celebrates these beliefs and, you know, works with these deities. No. Like, you can literally come as you are in my community. I don't care if you are Christian, if you're if you're Muslim, if you're Hindu, if you're whatever, if you are atheist, if you, I genuinely don't care. The only thing that I ask in my community is that you remember that my community is based upon the come as you are. This is a safe place. So don't be hitting up my comment section with trying to convert other people to your ideologies and all of that. Like, yes, you can speak about your beliefs, but it needs to be in a I'm trying to learn from you, you're trying to learn from me sort of space, and not a I'm right, you're wrong sort of space. But I started to build that, and it started so slow, and it's still like so slow. I have such a small little community. But in starting to build the home that I had always wanted growing up, I started to meet other people like me. And for some of those people, I was like a motherly figure for them. And then I met people like Melanie, who became a spiritual mother to me. And people like Trey and Josh, who became spiritual brothers. And I just feel so divinely blessed. And yes, it gets lonely. And none of those people are local. And sometimes it's really easy for me to slip back into that mode of stinking thinking where it's like, these people only like a mask, right? But then I remember all of those people who love the real, authentic, vulnerable, messy me, like Melanie and Trey and Josh. And it's worth it. It feels good. So, if you don't know that feeling, I hope you find it, and you're welcome to join my little island of misfit toys if you'd like. It's a pretty beautiful place. And I hope you guys know that you guys mean just as much to me as I'm sure I do you, and that these videos and the stuff that I talk about is stuff that helps me just as much as it helps you. And it's a deeply personal journey, and I feel honored and blessed that you guys have allowed me to take you on it and allowed me to be a part of your journey. So, you're not alone. We're getting through all of this together, and I'm really, really proud of you for dedicating your life and your soul to such a beautiful, wonderful thing. You're deserving of love.